Day 23. There is a limit to how much I can accomplish. The valley gate was repaired by Hanun and the residents of Zanoah. They rebuilt it and put its doors and bolts and bars in place. They also repaired 500 yards of the wall as far as the dung gate. Nehemiah 3:13. Know your limits, but never accept them. Author unknown. When I have money, I get rid of it quickly, lest it find a way into my heart. John Wesley. Hanun and his neighbors repaired almost 1/3 of a mile of wall. No matter how little the repairs were, that was a task of incredible proportion for folks who were not carpenters, bricklayers, or even handymen. They were ordinary people who did an extraordinary task. Does this sound vaguely familiar? Does your situation look like a mile-long mess of financial ruin and carnage? Do you think it is impossible without winning the lottery? I'm sure these neighbors may have said the same thing if they were not completely convinced that God was going to give them this amazing victory. Nehemiah shared a vision, and his people believed it would change their lives. He led by example, and they accomplished awe-inspiring results. There may be a limit to your strength, but not God's. He will accomplish his goal, whether it is with an individual or a family working beside each other. We have all heard, I can do everything through him who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Yeah, but that was then. How can I trust him for the gray area? Or the little stuff like eating, working, staying out of debt, or even getting paid? Real faith is tested in small areas like this. By taking God's steps, you will be honoring him. And as Solomon penned, "But whoever listened to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm." The fear you are facing will only get worse if you do nothing. By trusting him and taking the steps to downsize, decrease spending, increase income, at least temporarily, and look for satisfaction in items you cannot purchase or consume. This whole change of mind toward money is critically important, not only to your financial survival, but to all those who watch as well. Bernie was a single mom who struggled for years. She had 3 small children and an ex-husband who lived out of the country. She received no child support. She would come in for financial coaching month after month and show me a new credit card bill that she had incurred for either food or school clothes for the kids or repairs on her clunker of a car. I would encourage her to trust God and would quote Solomon's words, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." But what do you say honestly to a woman who struggles each month to earn enough to rent a cramped apartment in a seedy area, buy groceries, get clothes for her children, and have pizza once in a while? I couldn't blame her for filling out new credit card applications each time she felt the pain of a dissatisfied life and a need for the necessities and the things the rest of us seem to spend a lifetime pursuing. It is dichotomous. You trust God for the things you cannot buy, as we, who can afford these things, indulge. When will we finally admit that God plus nothing is worthless to us on this planet, but God plus comfort brings a smile to our faces and displaces our fears? Are you uncomfortable? You should be. I am too. The greatest tragedy a client of mine could face is being broke. What if most of us on this planet have something far worse? A poverty of the soul. Bernie trusted God through years of being single and had great love from her Heavenly Father. Her dad had divorced her mother years ago, and she did not have the relationship with him that the Creator had intended. However, a sweet relationship had been built later in life when she needed it the most. This time, it was with her Father above. She walked daily with him, and her children saw it. They experienced miracles at Christmas in the form of anonymous envelopes with cash. The children are now adults, and they remember their mom's faith and the loyalty of their God. God promises to never leave us nor forsake us. Raised by a mom who was abandoned by the man she trusted the most, they had been unwillingly tutored about being forsaken, a marital word that speaks of infidelity or abandonment. But this man, the God-man, will never leave you. This gets real when you have nothing left to substitute for him. Bernie was at the point where she had no one to turn to except the greatest treasure and comfort we could ever dream of, Jesus Christ. This time, she wasn't let down. She experienced a sacred romance that perhaps only few through history have tasted. Bernie got it. Her contagious faith was rubbing off on others. She is now married and has a passion for helping single moms find their way to a sacred romance with Christ. She leads single moms to trust him for their daily needs instead of leaning on a new credit card, or worse. Perhaps you are there right now. God has a huge plan for you through this impossible task. It will empower your faith and ignite your passion to be a witness to what God can do with someone who fully follows and values the greatest treasure.